Hi, Chalk Squad, it's Dylan.
From the grave, it's Andrew.
From the grave?
That's died.
So dark. Okay. All right. Well, you know what's not dark? The episode you're about to listen to. Or maybe it is, because here's the deal. The episode you're about to listen to was originally a bonus episode of the show that was behind a paywall. And as part of such, it was not edited or censored or really anything. So I've gone ahead and marked it explicit for the public publishing. It might not be, but I figure we better cover our bases. And I'm not gonna go through and re-listen to all of these to verify. So just have fun with unedited, off the cup, probably drinking alcohol, Dylan and Andrew.
Yeah.
Because
it was a joy to make. I hope it's a joy to listen to.
Yep. So, anyways, enjoy this, guys. Hello and welcome to a special bonus episode of the bonus show. I guess it's not a bonus episode of the bonus show. It's just the bonus show.
Candid Commentaries, but this time we're reading fanfic.
Yeah. It's still a commentary. It's just not on, the TV show. We wanted to break this up from time to time with something slightly different, and figured what if we read some Odyssey fanfic.
Love it. I'm so excited. Never read any Odyssey fanfic. I cannot wait.
Yeah, no, this is a new world for me too. I wish there was more of it that catered more to my wants and desires, but that's okay.
If there's a new Wattpad user named Mandy Strausberg 2000, it's me. And I'm writing fanfic just for Dylan.
Andrew, you can't tell me this. You gotta keep the illusion up. Okay.
All right, what do you got for me today, Dylan?
So I have a story entitled Jealousy.
Oh, delightful.
Ding. The door opened early Monday morning, and Connie Kendall walked in. Hi, Connie, Whit greeted her warmly. He was still pretty glad about her not being married to Jeff, and was always happy around her. Hi, Whit, she greeted him as glumly as he had greeted her cheerfully. Oh boy, I haven't seen you this down since Penny painted your room neon pink, Whit chuckled at the memory. Connie almost smiled too, then sighed. It's nothing. I'll be fine. Are you sure? Yes, Whit. She smiled at his concern, then walked to the kitchen. Ding. The bell rang again, this time more quickly. Eugene came rushing in. Good morning, Mr. Whitaker. I'm sorry I'm late, he cried. Wow, it's nice to hear you say that for once, Connie called from the kitchen. I'll ignore that, Eugene said. Shall I start on the imagination station today? Yes, the Hannah and Samuel one needed to be done by August, and it'll take that long to program it. We don't want to keep the kids waiting, Whit said, then winked. Or adults. I've heard a lot of feedback, and they want it almost as much as the children. Well,
interesting.
Then, let's get to work, Whit said, and walked behind Eugene behind the stairs. Connie cringed at the sound of Eugene and Whit's feet pounding on the stairs. She sighed. They really have to get that fixed. She thought, then sighed again. The thoughts kept swirling in her head. Why doesn't he love me? She thought despairingly. If only he knew how much I cared for him. Then she jumped at the sound of the bell over the door ringing. Hello? Anyone here? Connie managed to put a smile on and walk out into the kitchen. Oh, hi, Jason. Hey, Connie, he said cheerfully. Dad in? She thought she would die from bliss under the sunniness of his smile. He's upstairs. Thanks, he called over his shoulder as he bounded up the stairs two at a time. This time, a very Barbie like when she's in love sigh.
Barbie like when she's in love.
She knew she had found her Ken.
Love it.
Dad, you up here? Jason called. In the Bible room, Jason, Whit said from under the imagination station. Good. Jason walked in and sat down on the floor beside Eugene. Hey, did anyone notice how pretty Connie looked this morning? Almost as if she walked off a movie set. He finished with almost a dreamy smile.
Wow.
Eugene rolled his eyes, and Whit cleared his throat. Yes. Did you need something?
Wit is also shocked by Jason's unprecedented horniness for Connie.
I think it's similar to that dress episode
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's like, Donna, you're very hot, but you don't want to show people that.
Connie was in a French maid outfit this morning.
Oh, right. Jason shook himself awake. I need to talk to you guys about something. What is it? Eugene asked eagerly. Another case? Kind of. More like, a case, Wit finished, but I thought you were finished with the NSA, Jason. I know, but this has more to it than that. It has to do with Connie's uncle. Connie's uncle? Eugene asked in surprise. Which one? Well, he's dead now, Jason stated. But he left behind a case for me to solve.
Oh, man.
Eugene and Wit stared at him in unbelief. What kind of case? You see, he was an NSA agent like me, but apparently he was killed by a jealous someone because... Wit! Connie called from the bottom of the stairs. Phone! Coming, Wit called back. You can explain later, Jason. Yeah, okay. I know Connie won't want to hear me talk about it, Jason said. Because if there's one thing we know about Connie, it's that she loves to be out of the loop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't tell her anything. She won't
Especially
complain.
regarding her dead uncle.
Yep.
Wit walked down the stairs with Eugene following and took the phone from Connie. Thanks, Connie. No problem, she smiled weakly and disappeared in the kitchen to dwell over Jason not loving her. Hello? Wit said into the telephone. There was a pause. Hello. Are you John Avery Whitaker? A witch-like voice said into the phone. Yes, Wit said somewhat nervously. Then stronger. Who are you? None of your business, said the witch. I need you to tell me if you have an employee named Connie Kendall. Is that an okay witch? How do we feel about that?
I'm okay with it.
Wit and witch. Witch is witch. Witch is witch. Witch is wit.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
Over here we have sand witches, and over here we have sand witches. That's an Arthur reference. Why do you need to know? Wit asked suspiciously. Connie looked at him with surprise and curiosity. As I said, none of your business. Now does she or does she not? He snarled. So the witch is a man. I respect it.
Love it.
No, she doesn't. Is that all? He asked. Yes. Then he hung up. Wit put the receiver in its cradle and sighed. What's wrong, Wit? Connie asked with concern. A man was calling to ask if you worked here, Wit started. Connie looked confused. Then why'd you tell him no? And I answered the phone. Why didn't he just talk to me? Because the way he asked, he sounded like a villain, and he probably didn't recognize your voice. Oh, Connie said thoughtfully, then paled and went quickly back into the kitchen. Wit didn't notice. He was too busy thinking about the mysterious caller, who the mysterious caller was.
How? I mean,
That's the end.
Wow, seriously?
Yeah.
Holy crap. All right.
Told you. It was a shorter one.
Nice. Interesting. Like the strain.
So, is
Very horny.
Yeah, but not horny enough.
No. I mean, it definitely, for being fanfic, we can go hornier.
This is rated K. I want some T+.
You gotta go to Mandy Strasberg 2000
love an M
for that.
I would love an M, but I will happily have a T+.
Oh, Chalk Squad. Stay tuned to my Twitter for a poll of which characters should be hooking up in my AIO fanfic for Dylan.
Oh, man. So, I can't figure out, is Connie... So, Connie is fully in love with Jason in this?
Yes.
Because
she's rebounding off
right,
of Jeff.
off of Jeff. So before Jason walks in, she says, why doesn't he love me? If only he knew how much I cared for him.
I think she's talking about Jeff. That was what I presumed.
Oh, see,
and then Jason walks in and she's like, oh!
See, I thought this was Eugene.
Oh.
I thought we were getting some Connie and Eugene /fic, and then it just turned into Jason. I was like, oh, Is
Interesting.
Connie into Eugene? Interesting.
I would like that. Maybe.
Because it's weird. It's called jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Connie jealous of? Because if it was Eugene, she could be jealous of Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's Jason, who knows?
Wasn't jealousy the reason that
That the character was that Connie's uncle
uncle.
was killed by a jealous someone.
Yes.
So, but I was hoping it was going to be two-pronged.
Would love it.
And maybe the author intended for further chapters to maybe have a Tasha in there for Connie to be jealous of.
Ah.
But
We'll have
yeah.
to stay tuned, see if chapter 2 is published.
yeah. And then I do have a couple of comments from this.
Oh, go for it.
It's so good to see the AIO community growing here. Intriguing chapter. What is this? So it's a mystery and romance? Romance, I wonder, with whom? Anyway, enjoying reading this. Can't wait for the next chapter. And then there's just a lot of people wanting this story to be continued. Up until even last year.
Wow.
This is a story originally published in 2013.
It seems as though there is a great demand for AIO fanfic, but a shockingly little supply.
Yeah, look. Listeners, we got to get there.
We can do this collectively.
I believe in
We
us.
start small. This is our bonus content. This is just a small group of friends. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think we can collectively make the Odyssey fanfic community way hornier.
Fair.
I think that's a noble task.
Yeah. You know what? I think that if there's one thing that all of the Adventures in Odyssey podcasts should band together collectively to, it's to make Odyssey horny.
Yes, make Odyssey horny again. Yeah. Pamela's problem wasn't actually a problem. I don't stand by that statement.
I'm not sure what that statement was, but Andrew, you've also brought a fanfic today?
Yes, I have a fanfic to bring to the table. It is called "Welcome to Odyssey" by Evie Morandi.
Ooh, wow, we're doing an author shout out.
Wooten, she's coming! I can't believe it! Penny squealed with delight. I am too. It's not every day you get to meet your wife's cousin. What's her name again? Wooten asked as he scratched his head. Penny's cousin from somewhere was coming to visit. Very specific. Penny was so excited.
There is something that's so weird that, like, where it's like Penny feels too modern.
Oh, yeah.
For
Fanfic
for what
Odyssey?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Penny was so excited. She had been for weeks. Vivian for long, Penny chimed. When is she coming? She said she's coming today, right? At least that's what she said on the email. Oh, Wooten, I'm so excited. My favorite cousin is coming. I mean, I know you shouldn't have favorites, but oh, Wooten, you'll love her. Penny exclaimed. She was so happy that her cousin was coming. Viv needed a place to stay for a couple days, so Penny suggested that Viv could come to Odyssey. Here was Viv now coming. Penny and Wooten were waiting for her in the airport. Well, I guess I should do my mail route. Penny, bring Viv by the post office. Okay, I want to give her...
Wait, they're in the airport and she's coming? What?
Yeah?
So they're sitting in the airport. She's coming towards them, and and Wooten's like, I gotta get out of here and do my mail route.
Yep. Well, I guess I should do my mail route. Penny, bring Viv by the post office. Okay, I want to give her a big Odyssean welcome. Odyssean. Yes. Alrighty, Wooten. Penny smiled. Love you, Penny. Aw. Wooten smiled back. Love you too, Wooten. Penny replied as she sweetly smiled. Wooten snorted and chuckled in his usual way and walked away. The plane pulled in.
A chortle, perhaps.
The plane pulled in. Penny walked around as she waited by the gate. Suddenly, a tall girl with brownish blondish hair, with glasses, a dark hat, and a green sweater walked out from the gate. Penny's eyes widened. It was Viv! Penny! Viv exclaimed. Viv! Penny ran toward her cousin and gave her a hug. You're here. This is so exciting. How are you? Penny asked. Pretty good. Long ride, but pretty good. That's good. You just missed Wooten. He went for his mail route. Is Wooten the husband of yours that I've heard so much about? Viv smiled. Yes.
Is
He wanted to say, welcome to Odyssey. Good morning, Connie and Eugene, Wooten exclaimed as he walked into Wits End. Kids were doing what they usually did at Wits End while Wooten walked in. They were having a great time. Connie and Eugene worked the front as they made sundaes and lemonades. Hey, Wooten, Connie chimed. Where's Mr. Whitaker? Wooten asked. Oh, he's coming soon. Why? I have a letter for him, but I can give it to you, and you can give it to him. I have to hurry, Wooten exclaimed. Why the hurry? Eugene asked as he cleaned his glasses. Well, Penny's cousin is coming, and Penny's bringing her to the post office, and I don't want to miss saying hello and welcome to Odyssey and stuff like that. Well, tell Penny to bring her cousin over to Wits End. I'd like to meet her, Connie replied. Connie, a voice exclaimed in the background. Wooten turned around. It was Penny and her cousin. Welcome to Odyssey, Viv. By the way, I'm Wooten. Wooten smiled. Nice to meet you. I've heard so much about you, Viv replied. Likewise, Wooten chuckled. We were going to get a bite to eat, Wooten, before we went to the post office, but I guess we met you here. Penny smiled. Oh, it's all right, Wooten replied. Connie, Eugene, this is Viv, or Vivian for long. Viv Wise. Nice to meet you. I'm Connie. Connie replied. She smiled. A pleasure
Or
to
Constance for long. Come on, Connie, commit to the bit.
Well, that's where Eugene's supposed to chime in. A pleasure to meet your acquaintance, as Penny did say. I am Eugene Meltzner, and I say greeting and salutations, Miss Wise. Thank you. You can call me Viv. It's nice to meet all of you. I hope I don't bother anyone. Viv chuckled nervously. She looked toward her cousin. Her cousin was the only person she knew. Who else would she know? Oh, nonsense, Viv. You wouldn't bother us. Just relax, and welcome to Odyssey. The end.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I want to know what's going to happen with Viv.
Yeah, so do the comments.
Because my thing with Viv is it's like you're introducing a character. Mm-hmm. I would love for them to be a love interest, but there are no single men in Odyssey.
We seem to be expired unless we get to introduce a new...
Right. Well, a new character, or does Jason come into play?
Mm-hmm.
Is it maybe she really is into Wit. Which
Jack
single?
could come, or Jimmy could come back. I mean, it's a fanfic. Anything can happen.
Yeah, ooh.
Bernard's wife dies. Maud finally kicks it, and so he goes after Vivian.
It's awful. Do you have, obviously, I'm hardcore in the Trent and Mandy camp.
Yeah, of course.
But do we have another, Odyssey ship that you're really into? And it's hard when they're canon.
Yeah. I mean, it is difficult.
Because Trent and Mandy is canon, so you can choose a canonical one. Eugene and Katrina is an acceptable choice.
Yes, here. Yeah. So Eugene and Katrina was my favorite Odyssey couple by far.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm a big fan of Matthew and Emily, and I know that they work great as a platonic friend duo, but now that they are no longer partners, I feel like
they should become partners.
They could become partners. I like them. They've got a good dynamic. And they go back real far.
Yeah.
I mean, what was Donna and what's his face from Modesty is the Best Policy?
Jack.
Donna
and Jack is a great one. Unfortunately, Jack ends up with Lucy, but it doesn't have to happen in our fanfic.
Nah, not in mine.
Just because they're married in real life doesn't mean they have to be married in the show focus.
The first sentence is, that dress.
Can we make someone, I want a fanfic called That Dress.
Yes!
That's so good.
Was it white and gold? Was it purple and orange?
Yeah, the other... Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, obviously, both you and I are Team Buck and Jules.
Yes,
currently.
Naturally. Yeah, Bulls, as it were.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know that I've got much.
We gotta dig deeper into the Odyssey fanfic.
I'm I wish I knew I feel like I don't know the current generation of kids well enough to have like a clear one.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I don't know, Jay and Priscilla, is that anything? Like we
I
could
would
just, like,
love it.
Could I just throw darts against a board and
Yeah.
strike gold? But
I'm okay
yeah.
with Jay with really anybody.
yeah, it's weird where I'm like in retrospect, I don't feel like I really see Jimmy with anyone.
Nah.
I also don't really feel that way about Marvin. Like it feels like, I think, I don't know, for as much as, actually, I would say this is probably true across mediums, is that I don't tend to go for non-canon ships.
That's
I
fair.
love a light ship.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
it's not like, super like, where like it's not like they don't actually date, but like, they pair them up in the show and kind of plant that seed. And like for like shows where like the characters have multiple relationships, I can go for like a favorite. I would say probably the closest I get to a non-canon ship is
Cal and Alex.
they are cousins, Andrew.
Not in my fanfic.
is the I mean, not going outside of Odyssey, I'm just saying like in real or in shows at large, I always push for Marty and Rory in Gilmore Girls, because Marty never gets a chance and all of Rory's boyfriends suck for different reasons.
True.
So yeah, we do enough Gilmore Girls talk on this podcast that I felt like I could say that.
Yes. No, this is a safe space for such.
Seeing as we still have some time in the episode, Andrew, you into me reading another one?
Sure, Dylan, go for it.
This is called Just a Watch.
Oh, goodness.
John Whitaker strolled into work on a morning, carrying a rather large and heavy box under his arm. He set it down on the counter with a thud, causing Connie to look up from washing the dishes. More books? The red-headed teenager asked, rolling her eyes. That was the 5th box Whit had brought into his shop, Whit's End, that week. And it was still only Wednesday, she realized with a shudder. Do you think there will be room for more? Mr. Whitaker, or Whit as he liked to be called, laughed. I think so, but I didn't have time to sort it at home, so I thought I'd do it here. With that, he dumped the contents of the box rather untidily onto the counter. A cloud of dust rose from the pile.
Wow.
Where exactly did you find this box? Connie coughed, waving away the dust with one hand and picking up a book with another. The Moon and Sixpence, she read aloud? Never heard of it. That's because it was written before I was born. Whit took the book from her and wiped the cover off with a damp cloth. He set it down in a clean box, ready to be taken upstairs to the library. And I found this one in the attic. I should have figured, Connie grinned. I know what your attic looks like. It was several minutes before opening time, and Connie helped Whit clean the books. She asking about certain titles, him supplying the answers. Les Miserables, A Tale of Two Cities, and The Scarlet Pimpernel, among others, were added to the pile before they reached the bottom of the old box. Scarlet Pimpernel, good play. Highly recommend it.
Les Miserables, also good play.
Scarlet Pimpernel, set in a similar time. I mean, there's Scarlet Pimpernel's French Revolution.
Oh, okay.
He is often credited as the first superhero in the vigilante realm.
Okay.
So he predates like a Robin Hood, but similar vibe.
Yeah.
Cool dude. Whit was about to break it down for recycling when Connie stopped him. Wait, I think there's something else in here, she said. She reached her hand in and drew out what looked like a small mid-19th century pocket watch. It had the color of gold that hadn't been polished in ages, with an intricate and somewhat familiar design. Recognize this? Whit took the watch from her, turning it over and over in his hand. No, and yes, he said slowly. I mean, I do, but everything in me tells me that I don't.
What?
He shook his head as if trying to clear it. He looked up at her, and she was staring at him as if he were crazy. Don't you normally have brown hair? Whit, she said. There you go, ignoring it. and I just didn't want to dye my hair this morning. That's all. I think I'll give it a break." She paused. "Oh, the watch. That's what we were talking about, right?" She looked at it nervously, as if it was capable of jumping out of Whit's hand and biting off hers. What possessed it to be able to throw off their minds like that? I'm sorry, is the implication here that Connie dyes her hair red?
Yeah, that is daily? She said this morning, presuming that
if my beard was growing out, which it currently is, and it looked unruly and someone commented on it, I would say I didn't feel like trimming it this morning.
Okay, that's fair.
So.
Common vernacular, I suppose.
Yeah, Whit said, absently, staring at the old timepiece. He felt as if it were whispering to him, secrets of forgotten times and far-off places, of secrets never to be told, and children long grown up and lost. Ding! The bell sounded as Eugene came dashing in, breaking him out of the spell the watch seemed to put over him. "Sorry, I'm late." 2 stories in which Eugene is late. Also,
gotta be fiction.
I love the obsession, because it is so iconic in the show, but I love
ding.
the obsession over the ding of the bell.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't have put my finger on it, but you're absolutely right. That is a key part of the text of Odyssey.
Yeah, ding, somebody comes in. Ding, it's great that they intentionally transpose it. Honestly, this is very well written. Compared to the other 2 we read, this is the best.
Yep.
And no shade thrown at the other ones.
Yeah, I think the other one struggled for being all dialogue, whereas this one is like a story.
Yeah, no, this is delightful.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm late. Wow, for once, Connie mocked him as he dashed on his way upstairs.
Some themes.
"Don't tease me, Ms. Kendall. I have work to do," he called out over his shoulder. Footsteps were heard as he made his way to the Bible room. Collision in 3, 2, 1. Connie counted down. As she hit 0, a large bang was heard in the far left corner where the imagination station was. Whit looked at her quizzically, and she said, "He left all his tools out last night. I warned him, but he just said it'd be faster to leave him out for work the next day." She shook her head and smiled. "He'll never learn." I like this.
Is that the end?
I like this. No, it's still going.
Okay.
I just really like it.
Yeah.
Yes, but maybe he can give us a few answers about this watch. What? Oh, yeah. Maybe he can run a few tests on it or something. Connie was frightened now. What was it that caused her to forget about it so easily? And why did it look so familiar? "Connie," Whit started, getting slightly nervous himself. "Do you have a watch like this?" "So that's why it's so familiar." "Yeah, actually, I do. But it doesn't work or anything. I've thought to throw it out several times, but something keeps holding me back." "Huh," Whit said, deep in thought. Something was nagging at him, like a mental itch in the back of his brain. Connie went to the bottom of the stairs. "Eugene, we need you," she called. Whit winced. "You could have used the intercom," he said, rubbing his left ear. "Sorry," Connie grinned sheepishly, "but it's faster this way." As to prove her point, there was a sound of footsteps going from the Bible room toward the stairs, and after a moment, Eugene came down to the front counter. "Yes, Ms. Kendall?" We need you to run some tests on something we found," Whit said. "All right, if you'll allow me to see this object, I will commence shortly." Connie rolled her eyes, but not enough for Eugene to see and comment. There wasn't time for that today. Whit handed him the watch, and Eugene set it on the counter and took a magnifying glass out of his breast pocket. "You happen to have one of those in your pocket?" Connie asked sarcastically. Of course, Eugene continued to look at the watch, letting her sarcasm roll off him. "It looks just like a watch. Why do you want me to run tests on it?" "Well, this may sound weird, but we think that there is some sort of mystery surrounding it, and we thought that there might be some sort of markings or dust to help solve it." Eugene looked up, and Connie could almost see the "do you know how stupid that sounds" in his eyes. But he nodded, put it in his pocket, and took it upstairs to the computer room. He knew better than to argue with Mr. Whittaker. "Connie, do you think you could run to your house and get your watch? It might help," Whit asked. "Yeah, of course." Connie reached for her coat. She slipped it on and walked out the door. Jason Whittaker, Whit's son, met her there. "Oh, hey, Connie," Jason greeted her. She greeted him somewhat absently and kissed him lightly on the lips before heading for the door. They had gotten engaged last month and planned to marry in the near future. "So what's up?" Jason asked casually. "Dad?" "Huh?" "Oh, sorry, Jason. Just thinking."
Just me marrying your daughter
I could kind
figure.
of tell. Anything you want to share? Whit thought for a moment before responding. "Well, it's this fob watch I found in the attic. I accidentally brought it in with a bunch of books. I would have thrown it away if Connie hadn't noticed." "So it's just a watch?" "Yeah, I know, but there's something about it that's weird. I'm not exactly sure." Whit lowered his voice slightly. "I could have sworn that it was talking to me." "Talking to you?" Jason would have laughed if Whit didn't look so serious. "Dad, really?" "I'm serious, Jason." Whit did indeed look deadly serious. "But I thought you didn't believe in ghosts and the like." Jason was somewhat confused. Jason was genuinely confused. Here was his father going against something he believed his entire life. "Now don't jump to any conclusions, Jason," Whit smiled. "I never said I thought it was that. But you thought it. Where's this watch now?" "Eugene has it. Whit started and then stopped as a loud crash was heard coming from the computer room. Whit and Jason dashed upstairs into the secret room, only to find Eugene out cold with the watch in his hand. Maybe there's more to this watch than I thought. End chapter 1.
Wow. What?
We'll be coming back to this one, Chalk Squad.
Is there multiple chapters?
There is multiple chapters.
Oh, I'm riveted. Tune in next week.
Yeah, or whenever we air these, but
Yeah. It's delightful. This has been great.
Yeah.
Man,
I love the casualness of her just like walking out the door, seeing Jason, little smooch, keep on going.
Oh yeah, well, and that's the perfect thing about Odyssey fanfic is that it doesn't have to play by any of the rules that Odyssey does.
Yeah.
Like they said, stupid.
And there was a cute little smooch, and I
Love it.
I like the.
Can we shout out the author for that one?
No, because I don't. So here's the thing. We'll talk about it at the end, maybe. But for now, we got to keep the folks in suspense.
Oh, okay, fair. You got to come back here. We are the gatekeeper of the fic.
I don't want you guys to spoil yourself with this fic.
True.
But yeah, that I'm excited.
That was delightful. This is awesome. Now we got two
written.
whole
We've
thing.
got intrigue. We've got a side of Odyssey that we're not used to seeing.
We've got an unconscious Eugene.
Yep. We've got Jason and Connie smooching. They're engaged, folks.
Soon to be married.
It's just there.
Love it.
That was actually the right way to do this, which is two that like had their merits but were like felt more just like some rando on the internet like jotting some stuff out and hitting post.
Yeah.
Like what I would do.
Yeah.
And then one that's like, oh, we actually are developing a story and a mystery, and it continues and possibly concludes.
Ooh. For
I
free
don't know.
on the internet? Wow. Well, thank you so much, Dylan, for reading such lovely fanfics.
Oh yeah. Thank you for joining and for reading yours as well.
Thank you. I will bring only the top tier Odyssey fanfic content.
Okay. All right. Well, we're out of here, folks, and we'll see you again sometime soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.